Hi, I'm Terry Spear. I'm a Senior Director with the Johnson Organization, and I'm excited to be here with you today to cover a few things that happen towards the end of your in-home parties. The first thing that I want to talk about is door prizes. It's always a good idea to do some kind of a small giveaway. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be simply stocking up on a few of our little paring knives, or a Taste Buds seasoning packet, or even the Little Season's Best. There are things that you can purchase at about 40% off on the supply order on Consultants Corner, so check that out. But another thing that I like to do is when I host my own parties, I like to use a few of my free rewards to pick up a few door prize items, and I just keep adding to that so that I always have them. Now, the way that you can get their information to do a door prize is a few different things. If you're going to use paper orders, which we'll talk about order forms in a minute, or you're going to use carbon orders, you'll find a place on here where they can answer questions. And so what you could say is whether you're ordering tonight or not, if you will put your personal information and email at the top, I would love to add you to my email newsletter so that you always know where to find me. And if you will answer these questions for me, at the end, I'm going to put everyone who fills this out and answers these questions into a drawing. And again, even if you're not ordering, just go ahead and fill this out for me. And you can do that with either one, okay? Then what you do is at the end of the night, you can do a drawing from all of the forms that you got, and you can select a winner. If they've already left for the night, if your host sees them, then you can give it to your host. If she doesn't see them, then you have the option of mailing it, or if they live right in the area, running it by on your way home, whatever works best for you. You can even, if you don't want to do a physical item, you can even do a $2 shipping discount to one lucky winner. And if they win, you just go in and edit their total by less $2 and you cover that. So easy peasy, right? The other thing that you can do for door prizes is you can do baked goods. And I know you're thinking baked goods, but hear me out. If you're someone who likes to bake, and I'm not, so this isn't something I do, but just to give you an idea, let's say that you love to bake. So if you have our mini loaf pan, if you have our mini bundt pan or fluted pan, mini fluted pan, you could make up some little loaves of breads or some little cakes, freeze them, and on the day of your party, pull one out, decorate it or icing it however, frost it, whatever, wrap it up and take that to your party, and that is your prize. But you also take your pan, because when you give away your prize, you're going to talk about the pan that you used to make it in, and odds are you're going to sell a few. All right? So there you go with your door prizes. Now, let's talk about taking orders, because that's why we're there, right? So as I mentioned, order forms are an option. So the carbon order forms you can purchase on the supply order, and they're a 2-ply. So you keep a copy and then the customer gets a copy. And then you would enter this in your computer when you get home. The other option is you can go to Marketing Imagery, and there is a printable order form there, and you can use this, and you explain that you will email them an order form from your computer once you enter the order in the party. Both order forms are totally fine. And the third option that you have is you can take digital orders. Digital orders means that you would provide your customers at the party with the shopping link, and they would literally order and shop on their phones while they are there. Now, the trick is we want to make sure that we have a one-on-one connection with each individual person. We want to do that full service checkout, all right? So let's talk about the full service checkout. When you have customers at a party, you don't really want them to just leave without checking with you, because you have an opportunity to find out what's still on their wish list. Were they intrigued by what you shared about the business opportunity? Did they order something that doesn't really make sense? And maybe they ordered the smoothie cup and adapter, and you want to ask, you do have our blender, right? Because you never know, things happen. So what you want to do with your full service checkout is you want to give them a reason to come sit with you. Obviously, if you're using paper order forms, your reason is right there. I always just say, just fill in your personal information, list the items that you want, and stop there. I will do the math for you. You kick back and relax. Just bring this to me when you get to that point, and I will take care of it. Once I tally their order, if they're not with me, I call them over and we have our one-on-one. So during that one-on-one, I'm just confirming what they ordered, asking any questions I might have. Maybe they're $12 away from earning the free gift for the month. Then I might say, did you realize that if you spend $12 more, you get the such and such for free? Is there anything you'd like to go ahead and get that maybe you were waiting on until the next time? And so we go through their order. I get their payment. They can do credit, debit, cash, check, as long as you're comfortable with all of those. If you have a personal PayPal or Venmo account, they can even PayPal or Venmo you personally, and then you would just use your order payment account to cover that order when you submit that order, okay? So once you've taken care of payment, now's your chance to really find out what else you can do for them. So on these order forms, one thing you want to mention is for them to answer the questions. So when you're getting ready, you're wrapping up and you're saying, I'll be in the dining rooms doing my checkout, you want to say to them, now guys, there are some questions on here about your interest in parts of Pampered Chef. So please take 1 second just to mark those for me so I know where you stand. Now, when they bring you these order forms, they probably won't have marked them, and that's not unusual. So what I like to do is I like to just kind of imply that as part of my job, these have to be marked. So when we get to the part where I'm ready to have this conversation, I'll look down at my order form and I'll say, okay, so we've got you all tallied. There are a couple questions on here that I need to follow up with you on. So first of all, talk to me about what I shared with about our business opportunity. Did you find any of that interesting enough to want to know more about how you could possibly try out what I'm doing? And I'm basically just asking what these questions are in a personal conversation type of way. The next question talks about would they like to host? So then I look at the next one and I say, so tell me about what's on your wish list. What else would you like to have? Well, I would love to help you earn that. Do you feel like your friends would enjoy an in-home party like this, or do you think something online would be better? And that way you start that booking conversation, okay? And then you can also go on to say, I do fundraisers and bridal showers and wedding registries. Do you or someone you know have a need for any of those right now? Because again, you're looking for those booking opportunities, all right? So with your full service checkout, when you get responses that aren't a flat no, it's a let me think about it, it's a maybe, then you want to make really good notes. You can make notes on your copy of their order form. I carry a manila folder to all of my parties, so sometimes I will make notes on the back of my manila folder. But you want to know what your conversation ended with, and you always want to say, well, you know what? You think about that. I will call you tomorrow evening, and that way, if you are interested, Holly Host can still benefit. All right, because you don't want them to walk away without you following up. And if you say, you call me, they're not going to, and then you're not going to feel comfortable following up because you didn't tell them that you were. All right, so just a simple, you think about it. I will call you tomorrow evening to see what your thoughts are. But if you decide before, let me know. I want to make sure Holly gets credit. All right, so there you are with your full service checkout. Now, the next thing that you think about is cleaning up to go home, right? So you probably already heard this before, but I'm going to reiterate it one more time. Only take what you need. You are not a donkey or a pack horse that is going to load up every tool that you own in your kitchen and take it with you. When you pack for a show, you literally go through the recipe, you pick an item to do each task, whether it's exactly what they've assigned or something you're substituting, okay? And then you think about what are my host and guest specials, and is there anything on sale, and is there anything that my host asked me to bring? But that should be the extent of what you take to your parties. People will not buy more because it's sitting there. They will focus and be intrigued and probably purchase a majority of what it is that you handle during the party and what their friends talk about. Now, how do you clean up? There are very different ways. Some consultants will allow their host or a guest to actually wash their dishes, and they will give them a free season's best, or they will give them $2 off their shipping, or whatever they want to do, okay? And that is okay. I choose not to have my host wash my dishes. I like to say, I'm working tonight, you're not. Sit down, have a good time. So I take my dishes home dirty. I found a very simple way 21 years ago that I have used ever since. I am a huge fan of collecting Walmart and Kroger shopping bags. So when I head out to a party, I take about 6 or 7 bags and stuff them into one, tie it up, smush it up, and stick it in my show bag. At the end of the night, I simply take all of my dishes and I condense them down. I don't rinse them though, because if I rinse them, I'm just creating a lot of extra water and it just is messy. So I just scrape them out really good, put them inside one another to condense them down, put them in a shopping bag, tie it, and then I can toss them all in my dishwasher when I get home. You can also throw it into your host dishwasher if you're going to be there for a while. But just remember that your goal is to get in and out of that party as quickly as possible so that you're working smarter, not harder. And so pick the way that works best for you. You can even hand wash your own dishes at the party in between guests if you want to during your checkout mode. All right, so the last thing that we're going to talk about is your day after follow-up. The day after the party is an important day because 9 times out of 10, there are 2 or 3 guests who drove home thinking, I should have booked a party, I should have bought that manual food processor, I should have asked my sister if she wanted anything, all right? So the day after, a quick text from you, a quick voicemail that just says, hey Kim, thank you so much for coming to Susie's party last night. I really hope you had as much fun as I did. Hey, listen, I know that sometimes when you leave a party, you realize there was something that you forgot that you wanted, or maybe you have second thoughts about getting your friends together or doing one yourself online. And I just wanted to follow up to see if there's anything else I can do for you. If you'd like to add to your order or you want to host your own party to help support Kim, let me know today. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. And so by doing that, you're thanking them, they're feeling that appreciation, but you're giving yourself an opportunity to add sales, bookings, everything to it. And you can use a simple copy-paste text message as long as you make it sound really personal. You can also use Project Broadcast. If you use Project Broadcast to do that message, you can enter them in and start that process with them. So it doesn't really matter, but what does matter is that you're doing that quick follow-up. It will mean a lot to them. When's the last time you shopped at Target and they called you the day after and thanked you for shopping and asked you if there was anything you happened to forgot that they could get for you? Just doesn't happen, right? So very good. All right. Well, I hope that this has been helpful. If you have questions, contact your director, contact your recruiter,